Yo, what is good, family? Welcome to the video. YouTube, you already know the vibe. If you've been tuned in, thank you for being a part of the tribe. And if you are brand new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Do me a favor, like, comment, and let me get straight into this video. I wanted to tell you what I did to level up in my 20s. I want to share with you my advice, my experience, my insight, excuse me, my overall perspective on what it was like throughout my 20s, right? And what I did to level up throughout my 20s. Now, if you're like me or you're like I was, you don't really come from much. You come from kind of a normal background. Maybe you didn't have much money. Your parents, they were normal working class. You maybe weren't necessarily super poor, but you were by no means rich, right? I know for me specifically, we never really had a new car. We never really had a house up until I was maybe 12 or so, right? Like living in apartments, normal life. But again, luxury was not anything that we were accustomed to. The lifestyle, the mindset of being an entrepreneur wasn't really a concept, right? Like the whole concept of, okay, go to school, go to college, get your job, was what I was told and taught. And that's great, and that's what I did, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about. And I'm also going to talk to you about how you can implement that into your journey as you become a man, right? From turning from a boy into a man, learning about work, learning about women, learning about relationships, learning about the world, learning about other men, and like camaraderie and brotherhood and solidarity and networking. I'm going to talk to you about all that in this video, so make sure you watch all the way throughout the end. So in my 20s, right, when I started off with nothing, right, like I had a used car, you know what I'm saying, I had $700 from like just saving up, working in college, right? So this was like way back in the day. Probably I was maybe 23. Whole point of this is, at that point I had just graduated college at 21. I stacked a little bit of money up. Excuse me. I stacked some money up. So that's what I would suggest you do. First things first, start stacking your money up. Start stacking your money up, okay? If you want to level up in your 20s, do everything you can to save as much money as you can. There's a good chance you don't have as many expenses as you will moving forward in life as you're older, right? When you're living on your own, you're gonna have car payments, you're gonna have electric bills and gas bills, and you're gonna have car insurance, and you're gonna have groceries, you're gonna have a whole bunch of expenses. So right now, if you're in your early 20s, take advantage of that. Whether you're like living at home, if you have roommates, like that's totally fine. Like, have a roommate. I've had roommates back in college, right? Or I've lived with my girlfriends. Now that's controversial. I know a lot of dudes don't recommend that, but to each his own, right? And we'll talk about, how you should deal with women in your 20s, as well, and how you should prioritize them. But definitely save your money, like stack up your money, work, right? That's the next thing. Obviously, the only way you can really get money is by working. So by default, you need to work, okay? You need to be working. And when we tell you, like when we hear like, oh, work, it's not like you just need to just like suffer. I think a lot of people get the idea like, oh, you have to just work and work sucks. Like, nah, find something you love to do. Do something that you enjoy. Try a bunch of different jobs, apply different places, try different career paths, try different fields. There's nothing wrong with that. If there's something you definitely want to do or focus on, then do that specifically. But if you're just kind of out here and you're like interested in different things, go for it. See what you fit in with, see what works with you, right? See what you enjoy thoroughly, see what you're actually good at, or what you thrive in, or see what comes most naturally to you, or see what opportunities come from certain things that you do, right? That's the key thing, is like seizing opportunities, right? That's gonna be the next thing. Seize opportunities, because in your 20s, you're gonna have the world in your hands. Right? In your 20s, you have the world in your hands. You can, especially with digital age we're in right now, 2025, you have all these digital platforms, all the social media. There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to do anything you want to do, contact whoever you want to contact, right? And get in connection with anybody, right? It's very possible for you to do. So work on that, right? Work on making sure that every day you have the mindset. It's like, okay, I'm going to grow today, right? I'm going to work. I want to get better. I want to improve, right? I'm going to save my money. I'm going to network, right? I'm going to build my connections. This is what you need to be doing. And throughout your different endeavors and throughout your different, trials and tribulations, the different people and the opportunities that come your way will all play a part into your life, okay? Some will be obviously for better, some will be for worse, for different seasons, for different reasons. But it's very important that you do put yourself out there. Unless you're somebody who's going to just lock in, behind the scenes and just, grind and not even care about a public interface or social status, that's different. But I don't encourage that. A lot of guys, get into this monk mode where they just focus on one thing. It's like, okay, I'm just going to work on the business. I encourage you to do that, prioritize that, but work on everything. Be very well-rounded throughout your 20s so that when you get to your 30s, or as you develop, you're not suffering, or you're not, I should say, lacking or incompetent in one area, in one category. If you just master business, but you don't have any skills with women, that's not going to help you in the long run. Whereas if you just master how to get women, but you have no business skills, that's not going to help you either, right? So just become well-rounded. I think that's something I want to talk about in general in this video, and that's kind of the gist of this all, right? So stack up your money, right? Work, okay? Connect with people's as much as you can. Put yourself out there and try as much as you possibly can. Now, the next thing I want to say is, in your 20s, it's really important that you get to know who you are. And one of the best ways to do that is by going to the gym and pushing yourself, right? Leveling up, looking at yourself in the mirror and building yourself, right? Personal development. Make personal development a priority in your life in your 20s, right? Work on your mindset. You should be reading books, educating yourself. You should be listening to mentors, listening to podcasts, taking in audiobooks, right? And just gathering as much positive and relevant information to you. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you want to specialize in, whatever it is that you're going towards in life, learn as much about that, right? Become specialized in that category. Gain some type of specialized knowledge, right? Focus on something. Get really good at it, right? And it doesn't need to be something out of this world or extraordinary. You can be, hey, I'm a good communicator. Hey, I'm good at helping people. Hey, I'm good at playing basketball. You might be that person. You could go to the NBA, or maybe, I don't know, you could be a singer, a songwriter, right? These types of career paths, if that's your dream, I don't want that to fizzle out. You can still do that. But also, I want you to take this into consideration in your 20s. Those types of career paths, and this is a good way to transition into this, those crazy paths, you can go for it, right? Just understand that there's systems in place and there's hierarchies in place. And so the key thing is building it yourself, and also getting into the right rooms with the right people and getting the right deals. So if you want to do something that has to do with entertaining, actor, actress, media, any type of celebrity personality, if you want to be, on the stage or in the spotlight, whatever, that is something that you can also pursue. And I would say do that in your 20s, because you're gonna have a better chance then. You'll be able to build your network, you'll be able to utilize your portfolio, build your portfolio, and really get into your groove. But again, that's for specific individuals. If you're just somebody who wants to do a specialized trade or some type of work, it doesn't matter. You can do construction, you can build houses, you can be real estate, you can be in sales, you can do insurance, you can build cars, you can sell cars, you can fly planes, you can be a dentist, you can be a doctor, you can be an author, you can make a clothing line, you can build a food brand, a clothing company, right? Or a restaurant or a salon. I mean, whatever. I think the majority of you were watching this are men, but you can do anything, G. You feel what I'm saying? You can be a gardener, you can be a farmer. If you're a female watching this, you can do anything. You can be a nail tech, you know what I'm saying? You can do the same things. The whole point of this is, in your 20s, it's get specialized in something, get well-rounded, and go to the gym, like I'm telling you, because it's going to help you get really dialed in with your mindset. It's going to get really dialed in with your physique and like your overall health. The more you take care of your body, believe it or not, it kind of just trickles into everything else, right? There's a level of dedication and commitment and motivation and discipline that you instill when you show up and you work out on your body. When you instill that and you get those results, and you see the cuts and you see the muscles and you see the gains, you know what I'm saying? When you see that, there's a confidence that you get from that, right? And there's a subconscious accomplishment that's also obtained from doing such. And that gives you a win. And then you take that win and that energy and that bundle of characteristics, and that gets applied towards everything. So as you work on yourself as an individual, you're hitting the gym, you're hitting your macros, right? Your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats, right? You're working out, you're leveling up in your mindset. You do all that, you're going to get better in business. You're going to get better in your relationships. You're going to get better at life. That's just the way it goes, because you're going to be better as an individual. So the better you just has a better life. You attract better opportunities. You attract better conversations. You attract better people. You have a better mindset, so you see better options. You see better solutions. You see better possibilities. You're at a higher frequency. When you're at a higher frequency, and this is something I want to talk about, you'll be able to then navigate the world at a higher level. So while you're in your 20s, work on getting to a higher level frequency-wise, right? If you're trapped, if you're stuck and you're in the trap, or you're deadbeat, or you're broke, or you're like at this 9-to-5 job, or you're stuck in school, or you're in a bad relationship, and you're just like, I want the best life. How do I get out of there, Henry? Like, Aaron, like, help me. What do I do? What I did was I relocated. So in your 20s, I would suggest relocating from your home city, even if it's temporarily, just so you can grow, just so you can expand your horizons, just so you're not stuck in the same bubble. It doesn't mean you have to say goodbye to your friends forever. Doesn't mean you need to call out your family or anything like that. Just go somewhere else, or at the very least, travel. At the very least, travel in your 20s, because you're going to gain new perspective. You're going to gain new ideas, because you're going to see how everywhere is different. People around the world are different. People around the United States are different and the same. So you're going to find similarities, differences, and the different comparisons and contrasts are going to give you a unique understanding of how you fit into the world, right? So the more of the world you can see, the more of a sense of belonging and the more of a grasp and direction you get as to how you should operate in the world. So in your 20s, make travel or relocation a priority. Get around new people, get around new places, new faces. And the next thing is take risks. Don't be afraid. Take risks, start the business, invest, right? You might lose some money, you probably will. It just is what it is, but you're gonna learn so much about it, right? Do as much research as you can about things. Find mentors, right? And when you're in your 20s, understand that you have time. You have time. In your 20s, you're gonna feel like, because there's gonna be people around you. It's competitive, right? You're gonna start to realize, like, oh wow, this person's doing this and this person's doing that. But it's like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like for me, I'm on YouTube, and I love making YouTube videos. I'm not here to compete with anybody making YouTube videos. I'm here to make videos on YouTube for you, to help you. And shout out to everybody else who's making YouTube videos to help you and other people. I love YouTube videos. Watching YouTube videos helps me. So by me making a YouTube video for you, it should be helping you. I started making YouTube videos. Maybe you want to make YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? I made a personal brand. I would encourage in your 20s, you start to do some type of personal branding, especially in 2025. What I mean is, you're going to need to become your best asset, right? You're going to realize that you are your biggest asset. You are your best bet. The best thing you can invest in, the number one investment you can make, is on you, in yourself, in your business, in your personal brand, right? In your health, in your mentorship, in your education, right? It's your relationships with God and your close loved ones. Like, these are the things that you're going to gain priority in as you gain wisdom and as you develop and mature. You'll see, like, okay, I gotta bet on me. I gotta bet on myself, because what's really certain, what is really stable, what is really secure. Yeah, there's tons of things that you can rely on, but at the end of the day, too many of us oftentimes rely so much and depend so much on exterior things that we don't even trust ourselves. So in your 20s, I want you to, and I need you to, and it's absolutely critical that you develop a high level of self-trust. You need to develop a high level of self-trust. And the way that you do that, how do you develop a high level of self-trust, Henry Aaron? How do you do it? Listen, the way that you do this is by doing what you said you're going to do. You do what you said you're going to do. You hold yourself accountable, and then you make sure that your words match your actions. Simple, right? So if you tell yourself you're going to do something, you do it. That is going to create a level of self-trust. The problem that a lot of people have, and a lot of times what breaks people's success and their growth, is that oftentimes they're lying to themselves. So they don't have that self-trust, right? And it's kind of on a subconscious level, where it's like, oh, they say they're going to go to the gym, or they say they're going to talk to the girl, or they say they're going to start the business, or they say they're going to do this, or say they're going to do that, but they never do that. So subconsciously, they don't trust themselves because they know that they lie to themselves, and they don't even really keep their word to themselves. And that's not a good thing, because if you can't keep your word to yourself, then you're not really keeping your word to other people, likely, and you're just kind of a flaky, insoluble, that's the word I'm looking for. That's not the insoluble. I mean, you're just sort of a low-level individual, right? You want to be a high-level individual. So in your 20s, do everything you can to become a high-level individual. Work on becoming as valuable as you can to the marketplace, okay? Working on your skill sets, working on your communication skills, right? Working on your body, working on your mindset, working on what you articulate, working on your self-image, right? Like, find what style suits you, okay? Remember, you have time, so don't be in a rush to like try to dress up so old, but also don't be in a rush to like, or don't be afraid to like, you know, step it up a little bit and you know, put that on. You know what I'm saying? You're not a little boy anymore. You feel me? So if you want women, like girls to take you serious or to look at you a certain type of way, you're gonna need to put that. You're gonna need to dress up, bro. You feel me? If you want girls to look at you like, he's like call you sexy and handsome and daddy and shit like that, like, bro, you're gonna need to like put yourself together. You're gonna need to be well groomed. You're gonna need to have your hair cut on point, nice clean clothes. I recommend neutral colors. I recommend, you know, at least going to the barber every 2 weeks, once a month, or having some clippers at the crib so you can do it yourself. You feel me? And just dress clean. You know what I'm saying? Invest in high level looks. It doesn't need to be expensive, right? It doesn't need to be designer, right? Don't waste your money on that garbage. I would tell you not to. Right? In fact, I would say be frugal when it comes to spending your money and shopping. You feel me? Like, it's okay to buy 5 packs of t-shirts from Walmart and Target for $20. That's cool. You do that. You feel me? You don't need that many clothes. Save your money, like I'm telling you. That's going to be the key to this. Save your money so that you can save and invest. You can start your 401k. This is not financial advice, but just telling you what you should do. If, you know, in hypothetically, right? You know, save your money, dog, because you're going to need your money. You're going to want your money so that you can have that foundation. I know you're going to want to flex. I know you're going to want to go out and hit the clubs and party and go to all the places and do this, that, But I'm telling you, the smartest thing you can do is to live below your means in your 20s. Don't overspend, right? Don't get yourself into debt. You know what I'm saying? You know, be financially aware, right? Like, develop a level of financial literacy. Understand how credit works. Get yourself a good group of people, right? Get yourself a social circle, or get into a community of people who are like-minded, who are on the verge of, you know, prosperity, who want to win, who have, you know, God in their lives, and who have pure intentions. You know what I'm saying? And get yourself in the right rooms and get yourself involved with the right conversations and the right deals and the right groups. You know, make sure that you're not wasting your time doing frivolous stuff. Make sure you're not out here just chasing thrills and wasting your life, wasting your money, doing a bunch of drugs, blacking out drunk. Like, please don't do that stuff. You don't have time to do that, G. Okay? Do things in your 20s that you will be proud of, that your future self will be proud of and thank you for. That's what you need to be doing. It's okay if you have just a regular car. Okay, but if you really want to level up, these are what you're going to need to do. Because once you have that money, once you have the mindset, once you have yourself, your network, what I'm saying? That new perspective, that confidence, all these things that I've talked about. Once you've stacked all these things together, like, you're gonna be able to have your way in life. You're gonna be able to pick and choose what you want. You're gonna be able to pick and choose cars, places, women. You're gonna have freedom. You're gonna have peace of mind. And it's gonna be a beautiful thing, okay? It's gonna be a wonderful thing. All right, so I hope this video helped you. If it did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And as always, stay happy, healthy, wealthy, blessed, and focus on success. If you need help, everything you need is in the link in the description. Get with me. Peace.